Hi, what I'm going to do right now is perform an installation under VMware of Windows XP. This icon right here is the VMware icon, and in this particular instance of VMware I have 3 machines installed right now. It's a small failover cluster with a domain controller, member server, and a second member server. But what I'm going to do is add a workstation to do some other demonstration stuff. So I'm going to create a new machine. I'm going to do a typical installation. And you can either go to a installer disk image, like an ISO file, which is what I did try the last time. That's why you see that path here. In this case, I do have an installer CD in my drive, so I'm going to go with that. And I will enter the not the password, I'll enter the serial number now. And I want the name to be XP1. And I'm not going to set a password. And it's XPpro. Let's go. I'm going to leave it 40 GB. As you see, it splits the virtual machine disk into multiple files of a smaller size so that you can transfer it. There's a file size limit when you try to move files. These are the defaults. In this case, it's being given half a gig of RAM. Network address translation will connect it to the outside real network, and there are, of course, removable media that it will talk to. You saw the Customize Hardware button. You can choose certain options at the beginning of the install, but you can also customize hardware afterwards. So, typical setup screen. If you've loaded Windows XP in the past, you're familiar with what's next. It goes through a series of notificational little messages at the bottom of the blue screen as it is loading setup files. So I'll pause this for a moment and come back when something significant is going on. I'm just a little bit further along in the process. Just thought I'd pop up the recorder. Here we go. Yeah, I caught it. Setup is starting Windows. Let's watch this. It's no big deal. So what it does is it sets up a virtual hard drive, setting aside a section of the C drive of the host machine, which in this case is Windows 7 64-bit. And this is a 32-bit operating system. It's possible we may get a notification later about long mode being disabled on this. And that's a reference to a 32-bit system running on VMware under a 64-bit system. Alright, so it's now copying files. Bringing it back almost at the halfway point for a moment. As you see when you're up at the nodes, if you right click on a node, you have several options. This power button operates just like the physical power button on the power supply. If you were to hit power off while it's running, it would just shut right off immediately, no questions asked. In the software might say, are you sure you want to do this? And then you go click, it's off. This tells it to start up. You could power it on this way as well. Snapshot allows you to take a picture of the current machine state and save it. You can also restore it to that snapshot later. Manage. Says it'll take 34 minutes. I don't think so. Very good. It's installing VMware tools now. Every time it installs, it's a fresh download. It goes to the internet and pulls it down, puts it in. VMware tools assists the interface. It insists you to do things like copy from the desktop of the host to the desktop of the machine, the virtual machine. And that's why it's flashing like that. It's doing something with the graphics too. Yeah, that lower bar came away because the install complete. Nice and loud, right? Loud enough for you? Let's see if I can reduce the system sounds a bit. Doink. A little bit too loud. Let's take the edge off. Okay, that didn't work. Because it's the system sounds of the host machine. And the volume of this must be like all the way up. Just like any other install of XP. Okay. Now let's try this. We have it set very small. Let's do it a little bigger. There you go. No. Okay, let's try something. What is this set for? Screen resolution is 1366 by 768. Let's try it and see what happens. Yes. Now what's going to happen is the screen won't quite fit, but if we go to full screen with this, it now looks like the entire machine is XP, which is the whole idea. Alright, let's reduce this. Let's go back to one notch up and click apply. Say yes, say OK. Let's see. Now if I go to full screen with this, fit guest. Go to View and Fit Guest. Auto size. I'm going to say auto fit. View, auto size, auto fit guest. And then you've got that. Here, let's reboot it one more time just to get rid of this garbage and see. Turn off, restart. See, now the volume is much lower. That's much better. And this is vmWare8 running on Windows 7. And there it is with my auto-fit window working quite nicely. No, I don't want a tour of XP. Watch this down here. The VMware Tools service will kick on. There it is. Antivirus software might not be installed, and that's the entire idea. I want to install something and run it without antivirus in the background. Alrighty then. Now, if we go to right click, properties, let's take a look at the properties of this little PC. It's machine name XP1, 2002 with Service Pack 3. It is a 3 gigahertz CPU, a single CPU with 512 megabytes of RAM. If I send a Control-Alt-Delete, you right-click on this and go to Control-Alt-Delete. Go to Performance. See it shows one in the CPU, and your RAM usage, page file usage. This is your RAM. Page file. Physical memory is 512 kilobytes. Beautiful.